There we are. Welcome, 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 demons, to yet another edition of Reaper's Underground. This time we are on Friday, and thanks, Satan, for that, because it has been a long week. And I'm sure, like myself, most of you have had quite a trying week as we've been in Mercury retrograde, which is over in a few days. Thank fuck. All right. So I told you I had a tasty treat this evening. I have the wonderful actress, producer, Misty Wagner with me this evening. So this is the time to share this out anywhere and everywhere. If you are a fan of Misty and all of her awesome work, which we're going to be delving into this evening, you wake the motherfuckers up. I don't care if they're in the ground. They need to be watching. But before we get into all this madness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Villain Arts Tattoo Conventions. Check that shit out. That's right. You know what to do. I say it every goddamn week, people. When Villain Arts Tattoo Convention comes around your town, your city, your state, you best get your ass there and make sure you get a high quality tattoo from some of the best artists across the country. And you just might see me there. So you never know. As a matter of fact, I believe we're going to be in Kansas City next month. So if you're in the Kansas City area, come down and have some quality time with the big bad devil daddy himself. All right. So we are here with Misty Wagner. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
I know it took a little bit of doing, but we finally got it to work out. And I think you'll definitely find that this is the easiest interview you'll ever do in your career. And a hearty good evening to all my demons out there. Cody, Yabelka, what's going on? Make sure that you guys are sharing it out and getting some more folks in here. Hell yeah. So we are with actress, producer, Misty Wagner. And if you don't know her, she's been in either behind the scenes or in front of the camera for some of the most awesome indie horror films out there. But what you don't know is that she also makes some amazing creations at the same time in her spare time. So we're going to talk about that too. But where I would like to start is, when did your love affair with horror begin?
Oh my gosh, that began when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I saw The Shining. Scared the shit out of me because I I didn't know what Danny was saying. He was just like, "Rah, rah." And then so I got to be scared all over again when I knew how to read and actually knew he was saying murder. So that's
Right.
that just I say that's the movie that shaped my little dark heart forever and my love for horror and Halloween.
Absolutely. So obviously that movie was definitely that's the first time I've ever heard that as being a pivotal film that got you into horror. A great Stephen King novel, Jack Nicholson, the whole thing. I mean, he plays the best nut. I mean, let's just say that. And most of the stuff that he's done. So, fantastic place to start. So, where did you go from there? And I take it this was like during the 80s or
Yeah, during the 80s, 19.
okay. Yeah, the heyday of horror is like I like to call it, because literally it was the greatest thing we had besides heavy metal. So where did
That's
you kind of go from there?
so I was I mean, ever since then I've always loved horror movies and Halloween, which is ironic because my family never did. So you know,
They were
doesn't make
against
it
it.
I watched The Shining as a little kid and get all fucked up and my family doesn't even like it. And then for the prop making, I just started I've always, I guess, been kind of crafty. I don't like to call it crafts anymore. Martha Stewart does crafts. I make fucking magic. So it's not craft.
No, that is a definitely an understatement. Um, which we can show an example here real quick. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. It'll be here. There it is. So tell us a little bit about that one.
About that one. That one was actually it was kind of funny. I messed up a skull, and they're made out of a two-part foam, so they're very very hard, virtually indestructible. So it's hard like
Nice.
plastic. But I had messed up on the pour and didn't get the ratio right, and I there was a hole right in the mouth, and I thought, shit, what can I do with this? And I thought, I'm gonna make a forked tongue. So I made one, I posted it. A good friend of mine said, "Hey, I've got to have that skull." I said, "Okay." And so then I just had a lot of other people asking for them.
Nice. So it just kind of snowballed from there, and then you started to get even more creative as
Snowball.
time went on.
My really first big project was when I went to Monster Camp. It's here close to me by Stiltby Studios. Alan Hops is pretty known in the haunted house industry. And I went to Monster Camp, learned how to sculpt a half mask, and then we cast it in latex. Um, Unfortunately, that thing is huge, so I can't wear it. I have it on display, but I can't wear it because it's too big. But I have the mold to make more.
Hell yeah. So you said that you've basically been in love with Halloween and all things spooky. So were you like a big slasher fan or more of a creature fan?
More of a slasher, with Halloween and Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, of course.
Absolutely. So out of the big evil three, which one is your favorite?
Halloween.
Hell yeah. Got that in the books because that is also my favorite. Although the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a close second. It's always like that one and the original Halloween are always, kind of neck and neck for first place in my heart. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
That
What
movie,
is
Chainsaw Massacre, is what is responsible for me being afraid of chainsaws? I hear a chainsaw, I'm just, I'm out.
I feel that. I feel that. What's up, Deb? It says hello, Reaper and beautiful Misty Wagner.
Hi, Deb.
Just for everybody out there in the Morgrot universe, as you always know, don't be afraid to ask questions. As long as they're not jackassy, if I can speak this evening, I will definitely get them answered for you. Fantastic. So, at what point did you ever see yourself breaking into the industry?
Never, actually. It's
So this is more of a recent thing.
it is. I made my first short last year with Uncivil War. It really started with making the Halloween stuff. I started connecting with people in the haunted house industry, going to conventions, which naturally just led to horror fans and meeting actors and directors at conventions, and it branched from there. I mean, I couldn't have even told you a year and a half ago that I would ever be in a movie. It's always been a dream of mine, but I never thought that it would actually happen.
And since I decided to actually cross over from stage to big screen, I never thought it would be possible either. And it just really goes to show you that these conventions are so damn important.
Yes.
Anything from Days of the Dead to so many awesome different smaller conventions that are across the U.S. That you really get a chance to meet directors and kind of like make those connections. So, what was it like being in that film for on Civil War?
That one was a fun one. It's a short. What's most special about that one is I didn't think I was going to be able to do it because a week prior I got pneumonia.
Oh, that's rough.
I got pneumonia, and my father, as I told you earlier, is he's my number one fan. But I had told him I was going to be in a movie. He's in a nursing home, and he thought I was some movie star, and I was like, "No, Dad, I'm not. This is just an independent. It's a short." And he kept, calling me his movie star, and so I thought, I had finished all of my medication for pneumonia just a day prior and flew out, and I thought, I've got to do this movie. I have to do it because, for one, it's important, to me, and I have integrity. I don't like to let people down. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to be there.
I feel that.
But also for my dad, because, he was looking forward to it, and in his eyes, I'm his movie star. So it took
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it took all I had to go and do it. So I just rested, in between the set. But that it was a very fun experience for my first time.
Right on. And has that short come out yet, or is it in post production? Is there a chance that anybody out there in the Morgrot universe can find it?
Not yet. So that is part of the movie 6, which is an anthology of 6 shorts.
Oh, gotcha.
So they filmed 3. Redwoods was the one that I just did in October. That one was super fun. It's about a little dive bar where the patrons go missing. Leave that to your imagination. So that was a lot of fun. So we've got a few more to go on that one. I think it's supposed to be wrapped up by the end of this year.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing that come out. We got a question for you out here in the wonderful attic section. What's harder for you to do, creating art or acting? Ooh, that's a good one.
That is that's a tough question.
See, I ask all the easy stuff.
I think I think acting, because I worry so much about it. I'm gonna practice 24/7, and I'm gonna make sure everything, I have my lines, and I'm just gonna obsess about it until the scene's done. I have fun while I'm there, and there's nothing more exciting than, when the camera starts rolling and it's time for action.
Right.
But the art
It's almost
stuff is my escape
changes.
from. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like when you hear that the whole energy changes and it's like a light switch goes on.
It does. But the artwork, that's my therapy. And as I explained to my father when he's like, "Why do you want to do all that stuff?" And I explained to him that it was therapy, and he says, "Yeah, it's probably a lot cheaper too." And so it is. When I'm creating stuff, I can zone out and I can forget the outside world and just have fun. And nothing says stress relief like making something and putting blood on it.
I mean, there's something almost animalistic about it that I think we all love. It's like, you know, anything from, watching any of these movies, people get decapitated, cut apart in half, and all that stuff. And it's just like, yeah, that's so awesome. But it's not as creepy as it sounds, because I'm sure, like you, we all tend to root for the bad guy. That's almost kind of the best part of it, in my opinion.
Oh, me
So,
too. Humans, it's just like kill those fuckers.
They didn't really add anything to the film anyway, or the just get rid of them. We'll mow them down. But as art is art. I think both are transferable. Just like music to acting, art to acting. It all encompasses everything, because in a film there is truly an art to the special effects that are done. I don't know if you've done any work with that, or like any kind of like cosplay type stuff. There's so much that comes into that. So I don't know. It sounds like your first experience was, even though it started off kind of rough, with the whole pneumonia thing, that it was actually a good experience. How was it, once you were there doing it for real?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, like you said, the switch flips once, the camera's rolling and I was in my element, and it it was a lot of fun. Doesn't really have anything to do with horror, but I had also several years ago went through improv training at 4 Day
Oh,
Weekend, which is a local thing here. So just being on stage or being in front of the camera, I loved it. It's just the preparation that I just overanalyze and over prepare for. But once I'm there, it's the magic happens.
for so many people, memorization is always a scary thing when you have to memorize stuff. Uh, but I mean, I hear that, and have, talked to many different directors. Sometimes it's like, if you don't get it quite right, but it was better than what was written. And sometimes they're just like, hell yeah, let's fucking put that in there. That was even cooler.
I'm
But
okay with memorizing lines. It's the delivery and the execution.
absolutely. And I mean, would you say that it's important to read the entire script and not just
I
your
do.
part, so you get that feel?
I mean, I do, just so I know how, my character interacts with the other character, or what the movie's even about is probably a good thing to know.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta. I don't know. Everyone's process that I've talked to is kind of different. In a lot of ways similar, but in a lot of ways different too. So it's always refreshing to get a new perspective. So you're the over preparer.
Yes. Yep.
Me, I do two things. I do the rote memorization, where I'm just walking around my store, uh, rattling off the lines, pretending I can hear a person that's not there. I'll do it in front of, I take my phone and put it on video and then see how my facial reactions are, the delivery. So I don't know if you do anything like that. I kind of go to the extreme with it. But that's
I will
awesome.
take all the tips I can get because I'm very new to it.
Sure, absolutely. And it's one thing we've learned here at the Underground, everybody out there in Morgrot Universe. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you want to do it, there's no such thing as a late start or an early start or got to be in it from the ground up. You just fucking do it if it's your passion. Hell yeah. Got some pretty cool questions here for you. Okay. So, Cody, what would you consider your favorite prop that you have made?
My favorite prop that I have made? Honestly, I think the Hocus Pocus book, just because it's cool and it serves as a stash box.
Hell yeah.
With me.
Yes, could you show us? Woo, look at that. Now, what is...
Oh, I got the fingers on the side.
Oh, man.
But what I like most is it opens, so you can put things in it. You can put your secrets or your souls of your enemies in it.
That is fantastic. So the whole thing is wood, but what went into it material-wise?
Yeah, the whole thing is wood. The pieces are polymer clay. And I always say if you get a piece from me that's been stitched, you literally get a piece from me because I always end up poking myself. The stitches are hemp cord, and I actually take a needle and go through there and stitch it. I usually end up cutting myself too.
Oh my goodness! So your forever timeless signature is always within all of your projects.
Yes, my DNA is always on there. And then the Evil Dead 2 bowls were the most popular. I've made 33 of those.
Which ones were those?
Well, the Evil Dead 2 inspired.
Hell yeah.
And what I like about this too is you mentioned, Halloween, and I said out of the three, Halloween was my favorite movie. I'm friends with Sandy Johnson, and she actually has one of my Evil Dead 2 bowls that she takes to conventions, and she displays her Playboy hats because she sells those too, and she displays those at conventions.
Nice. Very cool. And everybody here knows that I am a huge Evil Dead fan.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, big time. Oh, Cody, I love you, brother. He says, the devil's lettuce in a spell book. You put your stash in there as well, my friend. Yes, you can.
You can put the devil's lettuce, whatever you want to put in there.
Flask, whatever. And just to show a few more of your projects, let's see. There's this one here.
That one was just me being silly. You can't tell because I messed it up pretty bad, but it's actually a Michael Myers mask that I tried to make to look like Ronald McDonald. And so I went to McDonald's in the Halloween dress and ate my Happy Meal with the mask.
I mean, that's phenomenal. Every bit of that says badassery right there. In my opinion, Ronald fucking McDonald never looked better. He looks soulless. Possibly a severed head of somebody who was playing him. I don't know. I really, really enjoy that. And then, of course, there's this little tasty treat. Wowzer schnauzers. Now, there's a lot that went into this one. Tell us a little bit about it.
That one was also a goof on the pour. I didn't have the straps on tight enough, and so it just like expanded out. And I thought, I'm gonna turn her into a corpse, put some hair on her. She's got eyes and eyelashes. So I guess as Bob Ross would say, it was a happy little accident.
Right. Although the accident with her is, she's dead.
She's dead. And I still have her. I don't have many projects that I keep for myself, but I still have her. I'm going to keep her for a while.
Awesome. As well as you should. I couldn't even begin to wrap my head around doing anything like this. I'm more of like a canvas painter, mostly dark and spooky, like occult stuff, as you can probably imagine. But when it comes to like physical art like that, I can't do that shit. I can also paint faces. I'm good at doing that.
That's awesome. See, I wish that I could draw and paint faces.
And it's so funny because when I started this podcast 3 years ago, man, seems like forever ago, my makeup is nothing like it is today. I was doing what I was doing at the time, playing in death metal bands professionally. So I just kind of like started off small. And then as time went on, it's like, I get this done in 10 minutes and it's ready to go.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I mean? Oh yeah, it's nothing to get it done between, doing this show, every week for 3 years, and then convention appearances where I got to be, in character, as it were, since I created this guy 10 fucking years ago. Never thought he would be here, but I am. Hello. So the more you do something, the better it gets. And I think that's very true of the art that you create also. So as far as like the behind the scenes stuff, I see you have like a lot of producer credits, obviously some thank yous here and there. Have you really kind of looked into anything, a little bit deeper as far as like the behind the scenes work?
No, I enjoy being in front of the camera more than behind the scenes.
Gotcha. Because I don't know, when I first started, it was like whoever was around that wasn't doing a scene, if they needed somebody to hold a mic boom or hand something to somebody or whatever, it kind of helps, to be able to do stuff like that. I mean, sure, being on camera is fantastic. I think it's a little easier though when you're, maybe doing some extra work or something like that, or just a small scene, but you hang around for the rest of the project to be able to like help out and stuff like that. So that also helps, as I understand it, that also helps people to wanting to, hire you into their picture. Because, the more you can do, I mean, obviously superior acting, you're doing great. So, those are just some.
The only film that I did behind the scenes stuff on was the first part of the 6th anthology, which was Extreme Dating. I did go there as a production assistant.
Nice.
But the other things that I have credit for are just people that I have supported for producer credits.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. No, I think that is just as important, because that's kind of like what I do. I don't quite go that far because obviously, money is tight sometimes. So I'm just like, well, if I got $25, $30, they got a perk that's around that price, boom, I'm sending it. You know what I mean? I think it's super important because at the end of the day, and we've talked about this on this show hundreds of thousands of times, every little bit helps.
Yes, it does.
It truly, truly does. To not only kind of like, help the project to succeed, but it also in turn makes you a part of it. Even if
And that's what I like, is to be, a part of the project.
Absolutely. So after you had done your first film, what was the next film you did?
Karate Ghost 2 with the James Balsamo. Yep.
I mean, doesn't that just say first class all the way around? Tell us a little bit about that one.
So we filmed that at Mad Monster last August in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ooh, I've been hot out there.
I'm delicate and very cold natured, so I love the heat. I mean, I'm in Texas, so.
Oh, okay. Right on. I generate it and hold it in very well.
But I actually met James at Mad Monster a year prior to that. He was selling his DVDs, and so that's how we connected. And so he asked me to be in the movie, and if I would do a nude scene. I know.
For those of you out there in Morgrotland, James Balsamo has some very, very fun films. And I mean, if you're into comedy horror, he's very good at that. But it's very indicative of kind of the lower budget style kind of 80s horror type stuff. So yeah, you might want to keep it away from your kids until they're a little bit older. But how did you feel about that? Just the idea of it. Was something you were just kind of like, hell yeah, let's do it? Or was it like, well, I got to think about it? That kind of thing.
Well, he asked me, and I said yes, I would do it. I feel like we actually just talked about like maybe a topless scene. So that I would do it, and then I got to that was like several months, prior, and then I got to North Carolina, and he said, "You're going to be a den mother and part of a wet T-shirt contest." And so I said, "Oh, okay." And I'm thinking, I've never done a wet T-shirt contest. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. I was like,
don't you just have to stand there and have a big ass smile?
So actually, the girls were part of the wet T-shirt contest.
Right.
I didn't have to do that part. But yeah, there was a scene in the room. I was nervous, of course, because nobody believes me now. But I always told people like I'm shy, and I know I'm shy.
I feel it. I feel it.
So I was a little shy, a little nervous, but I have to say that he was the best director I've ever worked with. He was very
Totally what
patient. Yeah, he was very patient, and helped me, calm down. We laughed a lot, in the scene that I did. There were four of us in the room, and here I am, they're telling me what to do, and I'm doing my thing, and I think everything happened so fast. Once we got started, I didn't have time to be nervous. Yeah, and
I'm sure that's a big help.
it was a big help, and so after and so during the scene, it was a lot of fun, and then afterwards I kind of thought, what did I just do? And then they had the big premiere in October, just a couple months later, and I debated.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so I messaged him and I said, did any of my scenes get in? And he said, yeah, they all did. And I went,
Was it on the big screen?
I have to go. I mean, what am I going to do? So I went, and some friends went with me. Some friends who I had also told that I was very shy.
They don't believe you anymore, do they?
They don't believe me. So he rented out this theater in North Carolina, and so there I am, on the big screen, and it was fun. It was pretty fun. But after that, my friend said, you're not shy. You told us you were shy, and look what you did. I know, but I am.
You're never gonna be able to live that down from your friends, because they have seen the film. So there's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back from that. But I'm also very thankful because for my first film that's been released and my first premiere, there's literally nothing that can scare me to death now, right? Because I've got the hardest part to win.
There is a strength in that, I think. Definitely not something I would want to do, but I'm glad that it was a good experience, and I can go ahead and show the photo.
Yeah, so that picture, after we were done, he said, let's get a behind the scenes selfie.
Looked like it was funny as hell.
It was funny. and so today is actually the first day that I've seen that picture.
Oh no. It looks like we may have lost your audio.
Uh-oh.
So typically when that happens, the best thing to do is to back out and then come back in real quick.
Okay.
All right. And while she's doing that, we're going to run a quick commercial break to our brothers at Poison Valley. Check it out. Maybe. Okay, we are back. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and I did have somebody out there say that they could hear you, so maybe. Oh, I got you back. Sweet. It was on my end. So sorry. Being on a pad versus my laptop absolutely fucking sucks. So thank you for bearing with me on that. But if you do like custom horror shirts, make sure you get over to Poison Valley Clothing to see all the new amazing designs that they have on Facebook. Let's see here. So we got some questions, some stuff here. Reese, what is up, my brother? He says, hey, my spooktacular friends. Hope you're having another wicked night. You are absolutely amazing, fantastic, spooktacular, legendary, and incredible. Well, thank you.
I love you, Misty. Thank you so much, my spectacular friend.
Absolutely.
He's always amazing and supportive.
Literally on everything. We should get him some kind of a medal or a trophy or something. Just to, we love and support, or love all the support that you guys give us, especially Reapers Underground. You guys are like, this is my therapy, you have your art stuff, but me fucking jaggling at the mouth every week trying to make people laugh. It's a good time, and it always ends up making me feel better too, especially since I have twins. Anyway, they're getting older, Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, Deb was curious about any new projects coming up. I don't know if she necessarily means film or your art stuff. So how about on either front?
Well, as Deb knows, it was just released this week that I am going to be part of the cast for Vampire Pennant, as is Deb. So I'm very excited about that opportunity. And also Sandy Johnson's going to be in that one as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was a film that I tried to break into a long time ago, but it seemed like it was locked up and there wasn't a whole lot of info. But I do remember seeing something about a contest.
Mm-hmm.
So is that how you got chosen, or did you formally submit for it, or?
Yes, there was an audition contest, and so
Nice.
I think that was in January, I believe. January, February timeframe. So there was a contest, and I shared that out. And so just found out this week I got picked. Also big news, which has not been announced yet. So you're the first one to hear it.
I love a surprise.
I was the executive producer on Redhead, Jonna and Sam Hodge, which I'm going to the Chicago Horror Film Festival to support them. Yes. I am also going to be acting in the sequel, Redhead 2 Deadhead.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So you can't beat that. You go from, supporting the film to now you got a role in the next one coming up. So that's going to be cool as hell.
It is going to be awesome, and they are up for 3 awards at the Chicago Horror Film Festival. So I'm going to go up there and, have fun and support that film.
Absolutely. So just to backtrack just a little bit. So as far as the Vampire Penance film, which vampires will always have, like, as far as creatures go, the biggest part of my black soul. So did you have to try to sell yourself as a vampire or a victim, or tell us a little bit about that process?
So that role for the audition, I did read for the role of a vampire, and
nice.
And so for the audition on that one, she
you don't have to give too much.
The script, the audition, she was a new vampire, and Sam is her love, and he follows her to the chamber, and so she has to tell him to go away, so that she doesn't hurt him. That was part of the audition. I'm not sure what's going to be in the actual script.
Right. Exactly. Because I'm just always fascinated, especially that particular genre. So obviously you sold it pretty well. Yay!
I had friends that were very supportive and voted for me. So I was kind of nervous on that one, because that was like the first time I ever had an audition, public like that on YouTube. And
yeah. I actually feel like that. Funny little story. Anytime that I get sides sent to me, I have to submit a video back to them of me doing it. And I always feel so stupid because I'm like, here I am standing in the middle of my store, because that's usually the quietest place I can be at certain parts of the day to try to get it going. And I sit there and shit myself until they say something back. So the fact that you had to go through all that, man, I commend you threefold on that. That is awesome. Very glad to hear that. I've been following that whole production for quite some time now. So glad to see you a part of it. They're awesome people. Let's see here. Deb says, here we go. Follow Vampire Penance fan page and Polestar Pictures on Facebook. See? Morgrot Universe. Now you know where to go. Make sure you do that because I told you. All right. And also she says, congratulations on all your new projects, as everyone here at Morgrot Entertainment also congratulates you on that.
Thank you.
So, having a couple of projects coming up, that's got to be exciting. A little bit about, I'm not sure what you can tell us about Redhead. Maybe just kind of like what it might be, the premise of it.
So
because it looks
is it what?
It looks damn exciting.
It is very exciting. It is so good. So Jonna plays Autumn, and her character is a widow. She sees her husband murdered, and so she goes on a revenge spree, and you can see from the trailer, she just starts like raising hell. One thing that I really love about her character, I don't know if you know her, very sweet lady with this, yeah, very sweet lady, very sweet voice. And so I think to, take her character and then she just goes and kicks ass. You don't expect it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what sells it. And they were talking about on their Facebook page, I think it was a cinematographer. So forgive me if I get that part wrong. But she has a scene where she's like laying on the ground and she's throwing up. And she did that so well that somebody in the crew, I think it was like started gagging, and I think they have that picked up on the audio. So I want to rewatch it just so I can see that scene. But I mean, the special effects, the acting, everything in that movie was amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully she didn't have to go through what one of the Underground's former guests, David Perry, said that he went through in order to pull off a throw up scene. Yeah, from what I understand, he had concocted this elixir, if you will, made of some very disgusting things that it didn't take much to actually make him hurl for real.
That is dedication.
I'll tell you what, I was like, dude, if I had to do something like that, I would probably just think back to a night of drinking 20, 30 years ago, and those experiences you remember, later in life, like, haha, I was dumb. I would just put myself in that headspace and think about what it was and what it was like.
Right?
So that's awesome. She sold that shit really well. If somebody was retching, that's awesome. That would, I don't know. It would be fun and not fun at the same time because I would have to refrain from laughing. Do you ever have moments like that where you're in a scene and you're trying to hold it together, but there's this like little giggle monster that's like either you think you sound stupid or it's the whole thing that's going on? It's so funny with your scene partner. Do you ever have moments like that?
I haven't had that yet with a scene because I'm so new, but I do that in everyday life. I just
Oh, I laugh at myself 24/7.
I
Believe
think
me.
things are funny, and sometimes it's not funny, but I can't help it, and I just laugh.
Hell yeah. It's I watch some friends of mine in certain films, and it's like, how the fuck did you not laugh through that? Especially with Corn Zombies, when we were making Corn Zombies with Acrostar. There's just so much. I mean, there's a lot of seriousness, but it's like some of the comedy stuff is just really, really good. And I'm like, how the hell did you not giggle through that?
That was a fun movie, and then when you posted the picture of it, I remember you being a zombie in it. So I got to see that. That
Hopefully,
looked like so much
hopefully
fun.
hopefully I exceeded your expectations on that.
That looked fun. See, I would love that to be a creature and have all the special effects makeup on.
It really was kind of a dream for me because that was my first experience
Oh,
on
really?
film. Yeah, that was my very first one. I have played creatures in music videos. Music videos and, film really are two different entities. So, when I played the devil and I got to be as maniacal as I wanted to, I had hooded figures all around me. And I'm just like basically throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the guy that got sent before me. But it's so funny because there wasn't a script. So basically, I had to say stuff to him that you would never hear. And it was stuff like, "You will be cursed to listen to Britney Spears for eternity," and shit like that. And when you watch the video, it's called the Cosmic Devil Trip by this doom metal band. You'll get to see it. You can't. You'll be able to go like, oh, he was probably saying some fucked up shit right there. But man, to be a zombie though, it felt so natural. I've always been a big creature feature fan, going back to Son of Ghoul, Saturday morning after cartoons. Superhost would be on, and there'd be like the black and white stuff and a lot of Hammer horror. That's how I got to know Hammer horror, and that will always be probably my most favorite era of horror. Not to take anything away from the 70s or 80s, but man, those films really drew me in, and I, as a creature fan, and of course, I saw The Thing by John Carpenter, and that just took it to a whole nother level. And then you add American Werewolf in London on top of that. And I just always wanted to do creature stuff, but I want to do slasher stuff too.
Mhm.
So hopefully you'll see me in a psychotic role.
I hope so. And we're gonna be in a movie together. September.
Are we?
Killer Cox.
Oh, I didn't know you were signed on for that. Hell yeah. See? Small fucking world, people.
It is.
James is fucking awesome. I had him on the show before anything got traction, and just listening to him talk about it, I was like, this is going to be like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes meets Critters. And I said, he just out of the blue, he's like, I know you're filming, the sequel to Corn Zombies in the fall. I want to get you in there for an awesome death scene. And I said, sign me the fuck up right now.
That's cool.
Oh,
So I guess
man.
that's the second announcement that only you know, because that hasn't been publicized yet either. But he said it was okay. So.
Awesome. I had no fucking clue. So, happy undead birthday to me. All right. Awesome.
I'm excited to meet you. If I don't meet you at a convention before then.
This is true too, because I don't know if some of you demons out there have been following lately, but I am going to be at CreepyCon in August In July, I'm going to be at the Nashville Horror Convention. And then I'm doing the Memphis Monster Con in November. I have a lot of other appearance dates too, but some of them are tattoo conventions, obviously, and a music festival. So I do a little bit of everything. The devil travels fast. What can I say? But yeah, that would be really cool too. From what I understand, CreepyCon is like one of the biggest spooktacular events that you can go to besides Days of the Dead. Don't get me wrong. Days of the Dead was awesome. I was actually on tour a few months back and snuck into the one in Chicago. I mean, I didn't sneak in, the stuff, but still, I just went in there and, obviously I was like, oh, I'm a kid again. I forgot that I had makeup on, and suddenly I hear Reaper. I'm like,
oh, nice.
You know who I am? Get the fuck out of here. So it just turned out to be phenomenal. And I love doing those appearances. And I'm sure you as well really enjoy doing conventions like that. And hopefully we get to see you at some more of them. Do you have any plans?
I don't have any plans right now, except for I hope to make it to Mad Monster, just because.
Where's that at? Is that in North Carolina?
There's several of them. I've only been to the one in North Carolina, but I've met so many wonderful people from there, and I think that's just, my thing is that I'm going to go to Mad Monster every year. That one, and then possibly Texas Haunters Convention, because that's local.
How cool. That's one I've been kind of scouting out myself. That I hear so many good things, and it's so amazing to see some of my friends like Robert Mukes, David Howard Thornton. He's making it around to like all of the ones, but I'd like to hit some of the smaller ones too. Just really support indie film as much as I can. Because they don't always get represented at the bigger cons. So Haunters conventions, from what I can tell, they look just as fun. So hell yeah, that'd be great. You really should. You get out there and do some more of them. It's a great way to help promote the films you're in. And let the world know about you. But goddamn, over 5,000 followers on your Facebook. I mean, that's pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you. Shameless plug time.
Shameless plug. Really only on Facebook. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. The Instagram is for my art. But really just Misty Wagner on Facebook. I think it's Misty Wagner 77. I'm not sure.
Probably. Right on. You guys know where to go if you want to get in touch with her or learn more about what she does, or is that also the best place if somebody's interested in buying one of your creations?
Yes. So I post everything. There's some things like the Evil Dead, like some of the skulls that I've made where, I've taken orders for them, but a lot of times I just make something and then I post it for sale. I'm actually going to be posting a raffle for this guy, a steampunk. Oh. He's happy.
He looks. He's like, I had a good time getting killed. Fantastic.
So I now, just post things for there on when I just make things and post them casually.
Sure, absolutely. And are you starting to kind of get into modeling a little?
I'm a professional selfie taker.
Oh, okay. That was all selfie done?
The goth was the only professional photo shoot that I had done. Okay. And then the rest is all selfies. I did do like one modeling thing, but it was a selfie I took. It was for actually Rain Jewelry. Um,
Oh, how
yeah,
cool.
so there was a little ad for that. So I would like
Nice.
to do some modeling in the future, but it's usually just me and my backdrops and taking 1,000 pictures to just get one that's kind of okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know which one I prefer more because I do a lot of horror modeling for obviously my character. So I mean, it's fun, when we have different themes and stuff like that. But man, I can just have even more fun doing selfies sometimes. And that's kind of the nice thing about technology these days. We got a phone that has a really good camera, and sometimes I end up liking those better than some of the ones that are professionally done. Nothing against my dude, because my dude is fantastic, but I don't always like the way I look at him. I'm so overcritical about my modeling photos. But then again, they've ended up in multiple magazines and front covers. So I'm just like, what the fuck do
Oh
you see
wow,
that I'm
that's amazing.
especially my boy over at Morgrat magazine, John Sorrell, ended up putting me on the cover one time, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm so honored."
Wow, I'll have to look at that. That is very awesome. I wish I had a photographer, but it's just me and my iPhone.
I'm telling you right now, you could probably print off some of those and sign them for folks, and they would fucking buy them.
I've done that actually. I've had people
See?
ask, and I've done that, and it just stuff like that just melts my little dark heart. I mean, the first time that somebody asked me, I was like, "What?"
Right? Why
Like,
would you want? It just goes to show you, in different corners of our, country here, sometimes even farther than that. You just never know who's looking, watching, or listening. And then suddenly you're somewhere, sometime, and you get this random message that says, I really love your stuff. Do you sell anything? And it's just like, whoa, I've had, caricatures done and all kinds of shit from different fans and stuff. And it's like, wow.
I've
It's
had people that have done like some AI stuff that was pretty cool, and I love that. I really appreciate my the support that I've received has just been overwhelming. And
it, absolutely.
I I appreciate it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what to say because I'm like, why? And they're like, we love you, and I love them too. It's nice that people like what I do. It's really nice um, when I make a prop and somebody buys it, and then they're sending me pictures of themselves with it, and they're like, "Oh, I really love this!" Like that melts my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely an inspiration to all would be actresses out there too. You are killing it. You have just the most amazing, and I see how you interact with a lot of your followers, on your page, and you're always so warm and caring, and you don't get that a lot with some of
Oh, thank
the,
you.
you know what I mean? You don't really get a lot of that when you start to get on the upper tiers. So I'm sure that once you get there, because you are on your way, whether you know it or not, we're all rising together, that I don't think you'll ever lose that humbleness. And, that is something that I think fans really appreciate, somebody that's real and, genuinely cares about who supports them. So
Thank you.
it,
That means a lot because I am appreciative and I do care, and they mean a lot to me.
absolutely, because without y'all, there would not be an us.
Absolutely.
I can never say that enough because, there's a million actors and actresses out there and films But man, there is nothing more satisfying and amazing than indie horror fans. I really don't ever give a shit about having a mainstream horror film. I don't know about you, but I don't think it would be the same. Sure, that would be cool, but does it necessarily have to play everywhere? No. You know, if 10 people watch the movie, that makes me tickled pink.
Me too. I just like connecting with people and, talking to them and meeting them. I like I guess the intimacy of the indie horror community.
Oh, and it is definitely one big happy dark family. Everybody is so supportive of each other too, I mean, there is, in any entertainment industry, there's always going to be a few folks that, just they don't think that way. But from everyone I've met thus far, meeting you as well, people I've worked with have just been amazing. And we look forward to seeing so much more from you. I want to thank everybody out there in the comment section, as always, for choosing Reapers Underground to kick off your weekend right. And obviously, Misty, honor having you on the show this evening. And anytime in the future you got something coming out, we'll get you back on, and it'll be a blast, as always. And we'll help.
Thank you for having me. That was another message that I got when you messaged me about that. I was like, me? Really?
Well, that's what the underground is all about. We highlight the best in the underground entertainment world: music, horror, art, even other podcasters, anyone that's like really doing something amazing in the underground, because that is where the true artists are. It's not in the mainstream, folks, and you know it. But always, thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, I have a double shot to be poured this weekend, because on Sunday, I have the great special effects artist Zach Elston coming on the show. He was supposed to be with us last Sunday, but sometimes things don't work out. So he'll be here this time to answer all your special effects questions. And we're going to talk to him about some of the cool stuff he's got going on in the future. So if anyone missed it, you can catch the replay instantly on Reapers Underground on Facebook, Black Flame Entertainment, as well as Morgrot Entertainment, and of course, Reapers Underground on YouTube. There's no excuse. All right. So as you are getting ready to do whatever the fuck it is you're about to do, because if you're like me, we're going to go have a fucking good time tonight. The most thing you got to remember is stay horror, stay metal, but most importantly, stay heavy.